Hey, this is Clinton with North Texas Orthopedics. I'm a physical therapist. I'm going to be showing you a few exercises to add to your back stabilization program. These will be useful to help you gain some endurance and to help you improve some strength in your hip musculature, which will also serve to help you support your back. So the first variation that I want to go over with you is a bridge. You're going to start on your back. You're going to make sure that your feet are even with your hips in width. You want to dig your heels into the table, and then you want to stabilize down with your hands. The next thing that you want to really focus on is using your glutes to move this motion. So I'm going to squeeze my cheeks together as tight as I can, and I'm going to elevate my hips up, and then I want you to hold that position for like a 5 to 10 second count, making sure that you're holding this extended position using your glutes, not your low back muscles. If you're feeling too much strain in your lower back, you're probably not using your glutes well enough, or you're overextending at the top. All you need to do is come right to parallel, bring your hips up, keep the glutes squeezed, own that position, and then keep them squeezed as you come down, rest, and then repeat. The next variation that I'd like to go over is a plank. This will also be another core exercise. It's a little more advanced than the exercises in the McGill Big 3 that you might have viewed earlier. What you're going to want to do, keep your elbows stacked under your shoulders, dig your toes into a firm surface, and then you're going to lift your hips up off the table, keeping your core nice and braced, and you want to maintain that position. For those of you that have some pain, you're probably going to want to start with some shorter durations and more reps versus trying to just hold 2 or 3 planks for, a minute or more. When you do this position, you want to make sure that your butt doesn't flare up and that your hips don't sink down too much. You want to make sure that your hips are in alignment with your shoulders and your ankles as you hold that position to make sure that it's doing what it should for you. The last exercise I want to go over is a clam, and this also will help emphasize some glute endurance. So for this motion, what you're going to want to do is stack your legs on top of each other. You're going to be slightly rolled forward, definitely not rolled back. Comfortably on your side. I don't have the pillow up here with me, but if you have one at home, it would be very helpful to help support your head like this. Pillow underneath your head, and then what you want to do is make sure that as you start this motion, all of this is coming from your hip muscles, none from your back, making sure not to over-rotate. And again, especially if you're not using any extra resistance from like a band, you're going to want to make sure that you're challenging yourself by maybe holding that position for an extended period. 5 to 10 seconds or so each rep. Come back down. And if you're doing these correctly, you should feel most of that fatigue right there on the side of the hip. If you have any further questions, or if you have any issues with any of the exercises, or if you're having trouble, contact us at the therapy department or ask your doctor.